Which of these Destroyer molds is the best for amateurs? That's what we're gonna find out today. What's going on, everybody? Today I have with me the 5 most popular distance drivers with flight numbers 12, 5, -1, 3. We have the original Destroyer, the Discmania DD3, the MVP Time-Lapse, the Infinite Disc Emperor, and the Discraft Zeus. We're gonna test all these discs out on a flat release, a Hyzer release, and an Anhyzer release to really get a feel for which one is the best. Starting out with the Destroyer on a little bit of Hyzer. Flipped up to flat nicely. Dang, that actually flew really good. Usually Destroyers don't really flip up that much, at least the other ones I've tried. But that one was kind of money. Editor Kyle here real quick. I just want to say the reason the Destroyer flew so much straighter than I expected is because it's actually not a max weight Destroyer. I looked at this disc after I filmed the video and realized it's only 169 grams. All the other discs in this video are 175 grams. I wanted to keep it consistent, but I made a mistake, so that's on me. My bad, guys. But it doesn't affect the results too much, so let's get back to the video. Now the Discraft Zeus. Oh yeah, that one flipped up a lot more. Much more understable than the Destroyer was. Great flight to it. Now the Discmania DD3. I'm really curious as to how this one's gonna fly. Okay, it flipped up as well. Not quite as much as the other two, I don't think. Did have a bit more finish at the end, but so far very similar. Now the Infinite Disc Emperor, this is what I'm currently bagging. It is the most domey out of all of them so far. And the most stable. That had no flip to it whatsoever. And last but certainly not least, the MVP Time-Lapse. I've already thrown this disc before, and it's not gonna go anywhere. I can tell you guys that much. That disc is stupid. That went like 250. I don't know if I got a dud or something, but I can't throw that Time-Lapse anywhere. That thing is ridiculously overstable. All right, so 3 of them got to about 400. Not bad for my first throws of the day. This one was pretty bad. The Time-Lapse, I think mine's just broken. If you're an amateur and you want a distance driver that goes far, I'd say stay away from this. This one, at least for me, flies like a 12.305. It's insane. It only went 275. The Emperor was the second most stable and went 365. Then the Destroyer went 398. Zeus, 400 on the dot. And the DD3 went 405. All these on Hyzer. Now, the same order. This time, we're gonna throw them flat. Destroyer's up first. Oh yeah, hold it. There it is. I don't think it went quite as far as when I put it on Hyzer, because I was really trying to focus on getting that angle right instead of putting power into it. Still a great flight, but yeah, it's easier for me to release stuff on a little bit of Hyzer and get power into it, so these might not go as far. The Zeus. Woo! That flipped immediately. That was a flat release too. I didn't pull that over. Okay, not a good showing for the Zeus, but in its defense, we do have about an 8-mile-an-hour headwind going on right now, so that could be the reason. Now the DD3. Very, very straight, and then the finish at the end. That one didn't flip as much as I expected after I did Hyzer flip it last throw. Good to know. It will flip up the flat, but it won't go over. The Emperor now, expecting this to bomb. Yeah, laser beam dead straight. A little bit low, but I think that's definitely the farthest so far. And then this stupid thing. I'm sorry, MVP, but maybe I need a different run or something, because this one, well, let's just see. Okay, again, nowhere. Thing has 0 glide, 35 fade. Maybe I made it 300 this time. So the Destroyer took the crown again, 406. The Emperor was right behind it at 404. I didn't give it quite enough height. If I would have though, it definitely would have flown farther than the Destroyer did. The DD3 was next at 387. I turned over this Zeus, but it still somehow went 322. And the Time-Lapse, last place again, 312 feet. Somehow didn't make it farther than the Zeus. I don't know how. All right, one final throw. We're gonna go for max distance here. I'm not gonna throw all these on Anhyzer because I think a couple of them would probably turn into rollers. So I'm just gonna throw the angle that I think suits the disc best. This is the real test right here, the distance test. Destroyer up first. Ah! Yeah, that is crushed. Keep turning. Oh yeah. And it fought out at the end. Furthest throw of the day by far. 6-claw Zeus now. This one is much flatter than the other ones. So that might be a reason why it's so understable. Giving this one a lot of hyzer. Ah! So much hyzer on it, and it still gets some turn to it. Definitely understable. Not quite as far as the Destroyer though. Didn't have as much glide. Now the DD3. I'm really liking the stability of this one. Gave it a touch of Annie out of the hand, and it's fighting out the entire way. What a forward push that was. That's gonna rival the Destroyer. Now my baby, the Emperor. If this doesn't go the farthest, I might have to rethink my bag. Maybe put some DD3s in there. Oh, too much hyzer. It's not gonna go as far. That was my bad on that one. That was my bad. And then the time-lapse. If I can't throw this one over 350 feet this time, I'm gonna give it away to one of y'all in the comments. Maybe it'll work out better for one of you. So far, it's not working for me. Gotta hit 350 or I'm giving this thing away. I put hyzer on it, fights out immediately. That's gonna be close. I don't think I made 350 though. That's crazy how overstable that disc is. What the heck? All right, some surprising results there. This Destroyer remains supreme. It went 434 feet, blowing everything else out of the water. The DD3 went 410 feet. The Zeus went 404 feet. This Emperor, I didn't get a good throw with it. It only went 388. And the time-lapse, gonna be giving it away. It only went 333 feet. So, one of you guys is gonna be receiving this time-lapse in a giveaway. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how to enter. So, now my final thoughts on these 5 Destroyer molds. Coming in at number 5, no surprise here, is the time-lapse. I just couldn't get it to fly anywhere. Nothing more needs to be said about that. Number 4, the Discraft Zeus. I really like how this flies, and for most of you, it's probably gonna be a really good distance driver, but it was just a little bit understable for me. Still a great disc though. Then coming in at number 3, this might surprise you guys a lot, but I'm actually putting the Destroyer. I know, it flew the furthest almost every time, but you guys know about Destroyers, they are super inconsistent. Most Destroyers I've thrown have been way more beefy than this. You have to be super lucky to find a run that flies like this one does. I have a Destroyer at my apartment that is basically a roller out of the box, and then I have other ones that fly like that time-lapse. This one is great, but not all of them are. And coming in at number 2, we have the Infinite Disc Emperor. This one was by far my favorite in terms of hand feel. It was a little bit more overstable than the rest of these guys, but it was a very consistent flight and I knew what it was gonna do. It didn't go quite as far as the other ones, but I think that was more my fault on the releases than the disc fault. But yeah, if you haven't tried an Emperor yet, you guys definitely should check it out. These things bomb. And at number 1, this one surprised me. The Discmania DD3. I mean, at least today, I really like the stability of this disc and how it flew. I could put it on hyzer and get it to flip up to flat. Wouldn't go past flat, but it would push straight forever. And I put it on some anhyzer and it could fight out of it. I don't know, man. DD3 is an underrated disc. I don't think I'm going to be putting it in my bag though. I love the Emperor and I have like 7 of them. I know how they all fly. This is the only DD3 I have, but maybe I should start trying out more because this one is really good. All right, I'll stop blabbing now. It's time for the giveaway for the time-lapse. I know this thing doesn't fly well, but you guys are going to be getting a super sweet looking disc. I mean, look at the swirls on this thing, on the rim and in the center. One of the coolest looking discs that I own. If you want to win this disc, be sure to drop a distance down in the comments below. I'm gonna throw my farthest flying disc, my 169 gram Emperor. The first person that guesses the distance right is gonna win that time-lapse. So be sure to drop that prediction down in the comments below, and good luck to everybody. Oh, that's gone. Oh, that's so far. Yeah. See you guys in the next video. Peace.